So, Karen, thank you for spending some time with me today. And I wanted to talk to you about your article that's coming out. So, you surveyed faculty and asked them three things: describe faculty experience teaching during the pandemic, identify ways to sustain all the new innovation and new pedagogical approaches that arose, and then describe the types of support that faculty may need who are in a really difficult time. And so I just wondered, what were your two or three take homes from all of this as a
Actually, I think one of the most interesting things, I mean, I think what we heard from faculty, and we actually started out doing focus groups, kind of see kind of what it would be like. And then we did our survey and did that. And so obviously we found similar things across the board, was that, faculty did a lot of really creative things and they adapted and were flexible. So that came out very strongly. As a research team, we started out, wondering what was going to come out of this because we had kind of observed those things and wanted to see, are people actually going to kind of continue to be able to do the same kinds of things that they got a taste for by being adaptable and creative during COVID. And I think that there was a fair amount of faculty who were really interested in that, as well as faculty who felt kind of stressed and burnt out by the whole thing, right? In that sort of thing. So those things really, stood out for me anyway. And I think as people were talking about that, particularly in the focus groups, I think that we heard that having leadership, that actually focused on faculty development actually helped schools. So schools where you had either an assistant dean or associate dean, kind of in faculty affairs and faculty development, felt more supported.
One of the things we learned is that virtual stuff and asynchronous stuff actually works when it's done well. So I wondered, what applications are there for your specialty, which is public health?
Yeah.
Because in dentistry, we've always thought you got to get the provider and the patient together. But are there applications that you've thought of? I think
we created during COVID, actually, but had started again before COVID, virtual exchange program. I did that with one of our colleagues in Heidelberg, Germany, and then that program has actually grown till now. We have 5 different schools across the globe where we actually have students, participate over the course of 9 months. And they do projects together, looking at comparative, education systems, health system, public healthy, global health related things as part of this program. And so that's been really exciting to watch that grow. So the possibilities to connect globally through technology has really opened up opportunities in that sphere. For students that previously, for students to have sort of that international experience, they would have, it would have been, I have to be able to afford to travel, to be able to be away from family, to be able to do this stuff. So the students that had those experiences, were kind of limited by that. And we all know students have lots of debt, that sort of thing. And so being able to have those experiences virtually has actually opened that experience up to students who might not otherwise, have been able to do that for those reasons that I already mentioned, which is, the cost of being able to do that, maybe even like the environmental impact of, traveling and doing those things, right? Because you have all these sorts of considerations, ethical considerations about doing that in terms of the environment or even like public health and how you're doing those things. And so I think that's been great and exciting. And that, with the technologies as they go forward, becomes more and more exciting. I think even now.
Karen, that's spectacular. That's really cool.
Yeah, well, I think it's really cool. I'm a little biased, but yes, it is very cool.